Tamsui fireworks outshine Taipei 101 on New Year's Eve. Taichung fireworks accident injures 6-year-old girl. Crying while countdown event draws thousands in 2024. WHO urges China to share COVID origins data. Court warrants to detain impeached South Korean President Yoon. 5 people charged in Liam Payne's death. Thousands march in Bangladesh. World waves goodbye to a tumultuous year.
Hello, I'm Johnny. Thank you for joining us on Funday News. Happy New Year to our beloved fans. It is Thursday, January 2nd, and here are your top stories. And for today's Taiwan news, the New Year's Eve fireworks in Tamsui have gained praise for their breathtaking beauty, with many online users claiming they outshine Taipei 101's display, which was celebrated as the most beautiful ever by new chairman Jia Yongjie. Tamsui's fireworks are considered stunning every year. A fireworks accident during Taichung's New Year's Eve event injured a 6-year-old Japanese girl, burning her right eyelid. The girl was treated at the hospital and is in stable condition. Mayor Lu Xiuyan has issued 3 directives: care for the victim, thorough investigation, and clarification of the cause. A tribute to the Taiwanese film Vive l'amour, the Crying While Countdown event at Taipei's Dine Forest Park, initiated by netizen Li Si-han in 2023, attracted 3,000 participants in 2024. The unique celebration, honoring director Tsai Ming-liang and actors, became a global talking point. And in global news, the WHO has urged China to share data to help understand the origins of COVID-19 5 years after the start of the pandemic in the Chinese city of Wuhan. On December 31st, 2019, the WHO's China office noted a cluster of pneumonia cases in a statement from health authorities in Wuhan. More than 3 weeks later, Chinese authorities locked down the city of 11 million. Fears of a rapidly spreading virus gripped the nation. But as authorities would later learn, the coronavirus had already spread far beyond China.
While much of the world has moved on from the pandemic lockdowns and restrictions, many questions remain about the source of a virus that killed at least 7 million people, crippled healthcare systems, and upended the global economy. Many experts say China's opacity has made finding answers to the pandemic's origins more difficult. The WHO said in a statement on Monday, "We continue to call on China to share data and grant access so we can understand the origins of COVID-19. This is a moral and scientific imperative." Mao Ning, a spokesperson for the ministry, said, "On the issue of COVID-19 origin tracing, China has always adhered to the spirit of science, openness, and transparency, actively supported and participated in global scientific tracing, and resolutely opposed any form of political manipulation."
A South Korean court issued warrants on Tuesday to detain impeached President Yoon Suk-yeol and search his office and residence over allegations of rebellion in connection with his short-lived declaration of martial law. It is the first time a warrant has been issued to detain a sitting South Korean president. However, experts say there is little chance of detention or searches unless Yoon is formally removed from office. The Seoul Winston District Court issued warrants to detain Yoon and to search the presidential office and residence in central Seoul.
Under South Korean law, the leader of a rebellion can face the death penalty or life imprisonment if convicted. Yoon has presidential immunity from most criminal prosecutions, but this privilege does not extend to allegations of rebellion or treason. Yoon's powers have been suspended since the opposition-controlled National Assembly voted to impeach him on December 14th over his imposition of martial law, during which hundreds of troops and police officers were deployed to the assembly. By law, a president in South Korea is allowed to declare martial law only during wartime or similar emergencies and has no right to suspend parliament's operations, even under martial law.
Argentine prosecutors said Monday that One Direction singer Liam Payne, incapacitated by consumption of various substances, was unable to maintain his balance in a hotel lobby before he needlessly fell to his death. 5 people, a friend of Payne's, and 4 hotel employees have been charged in connection with Payne's fatal fall at the Casa Palomar Hotel in Buenos Aires on October 16th. According to prosecutors, a judge approved charges against Payne's companion, the hotel's manager, and its head of reception. All 3 were accused of negligent homicide.
The prosecution said the defendants showed imprudence, negligence, lack of skill in their art or profession, or failure to observe the regulations or duties in their charge that caused the death of another. 2 other hotel employees were also charged with furnishing drugs to Payne. The hotel manager, identified by the initials GAM, was in the lobby and noticed the state of health of Payne, who was unable to stand due to the consumption of various substances. Payne had a personal representative traveling with him, a companion called RLN, who prosecutors said is criminally responsible for Payne's death by failing to comply with his duties of care, assistance, and aid that he had. A waiter, identified only as BNP, and another hotel worker, called EDP, were accused of supplying cocaine in exchange for money to Payne.
On Tuesday, thousands of Bangladeshis rallied at a March for Unity in Dhaka to mark the student-led uprising 5 months ago that led to the ouster of long-standing Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and to remember the more than 1,000 people killed in the violence. The Students Against Discrimination group, which led the protests, dropped a plan to call for changes to the country's 1972 constitution at the rally. The groups of students arrived from across the country, and families of those killed in the unrest also joined the rally.
They carried the national flag and chanted slogans against Hasina. The protests were initially sparked by opposition to public sector job quotas. What began as a student-led movement quickly morphed into a broader, nationwide uprising against Hasina's government. The unrest reached its peak on August 5, when violence forced Hasina to resign and flee to India. Over 1,000 people were killed during the protests, marking the country's deadliest period since its 1971 independence war. An interim government was formed, tasked with restoring stability and preparing for elections. The interim administration includes 2 representatives from the student movement. Yunus has said elections could be held by the end of 2025.
The traditions have been followed, the good luck measures taken, and the corks popped as revelers across the globe welcomed 2025 in their own styles on Wednesday morning. More than 1 million people were estimated to have poured into New York City's Times Square on Tuesday night for the iconic midnight ball drop, complete with a boosted police presence. The plaza, bordered by high rises and walls of digital billboards, was lit up like high noon as the official Times Square billboard that marks the calendar flashed 2025.
Nations in the South Pacific Ocean were the first to wave goodbye to 2024. Midnight in New Zealand is 18 hours ahead of Eastern Time. In some Asian countries, millions readied for the Year of the Snake, seen as the year of rebirth in the Asian zodiac. In Japan, which observes the zodiac cycle from January 1st, stores were seen selling snake-themed products while temples and homes underwent a thorough cleaning before much of the nation shut down in celebration. The mood was somber in South Korea after Sunday's Jeju air flight crash at Muon that killed 179 people. Most celebrations were scaled back or canceled as the country observed a period of national mourning.
The answer for last year was C, moderate. The doctor advised him to follow a moderate exercise routine to improve his health without overexerting himself. Did you answer correctly? Now let's delve into today's news. WHO urges China to share COVID origins data. Number 1, cripple. 使瘫痪, 使疾病, 使残疾削弱. The accident crippled him for life. Number 2, upend. 颠倒, 使翻转, 使力气. The strong wind upended the boat and caused it to sink. Number 3, imperative. 必要的, 紧急的, 命令式的. It is imperative that you submit your report by tomorrow. Next, we have a multiple choice question for everyone to practice. Which answer would you choose? You can write your answer in the comments section. The correct answer will be announced tomorrow. And that's all for today's Funday News. Be sure to tune into Funday News from Monday to Friday and click the link below to join Funday for free. I'm Johnny Wu, your host. I'll see you next time.